The Angus sire benchmarking program has demonstrated that there's great potential to achieve genetic improvement in Angus breeding programs by utilising selection tools such as estimated breeding values and selection indexes. A recent project undertaken by Angus Australia with funding assistance from the MLA donor company assessed the EBV of sires entered in cohorts 5, 6 and 7 of the ASBP. The project builds on previous work which examined cohorts 1, 2 and 3 and analysed whether the sires' EBVs when they were initially joined in the ASBP program differed considerably from their EBVs at the end of the program, by which time their progeny had been comprehensively performance recorded. The project examined the average of the 10 sires in each cohort with the highest initial EBV and compared this to the EBVs of the same sires at the end of the project after their progeny data had been included, with the same process followed for the 10 lowest EBV sires for each of the traits. The project has shown that while the EBVs of some individual sires did change as expected, there was on average minimal change in the EBV of sires, and the sires' initial EBVs aligned closely with their EBVs at the end of the program when their progeny had been comprehensively performance recorded. When we examine the impact on the growth traits, we see that for 200-day growth, the average EBV at the start of the project for the highest 10 sires was plus 56 kilos and the lowest was plus 39 kilos. After the inclusion of the ASBP progeny performance information, we saw the EBV of the highest 10 increase to plus 58 kilos and plus 41 kilos within the lowest 10 sires. The significant increase in data was reflected in the change in EBV accuracy, with a 16% increase in both groups of sires. A similar change was observed in the other growth traits. For the carcass composition traits, the change in the average initial and final carcass weight EBVs of the 10 sires with the highest initial EBV in each cohort was only 3 kilos, with a similar difference between the average initial and final carcass weight EBV of the 10 sires with the lowest initial EBV. The average EBV accuracy increased for the two groups of sires by 21% and 22% respectively. The average initial EBV of the 10 sires in each cohort with the highest EBV for carcass EMA, IMF, rib and rump fat was plus 10 square centimetres, plus 3.6%, plus 1.9 millimetres and plus 1.8 millimetres respectively. By comparison, the final EBV for the same sires was plus 9.3 square centimetres, plus 3.3%, plus 1.5 millimetres and plus 0.9 millimetres. This represents a very small change in the carcass composition EBVs generated at the initial joining period to the EBVs generated when all the sires' progeny carcass performance had been included in the analysis. The increase in accuracy for these EBVs was 23% for carcass EMA, 25% for carcass IMF, 23% for rib fat and 22% for rump fat. Similarly, the average initial EBV of the 10 sires in each cohort with the lowest EBVs for carcass, EMA, IMF, rib and rump fat was plus 3.3 square centimetres, plus 0.9%, minus 1.8 millimetres and minus 2.2 millimetres respectively. The average final EBV for the same sires was plus 4.1 square centimetres, plus 0.9%, minus 1.4 millimetres and minus 2 millimetres, representing a change of only 0.8 square centimetres, 0%, 0.4 millimetres and 0.2 millimetres. The increase in accuracy for carcass EMA, IMF, rib and rump fat was 24%, 29%, 23% and 20% respectively. This project has shown clearly that while the EBVs for some individual sires did change, as expected, there was on average minimal change in the EBV of sires in cohorts 5, 6 and 7 of the ASBP, and the initial EBVs of the sires, despite being of low accuracy, describe the relative genetic merit of the sires well.